Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to day one of your stretch and mobility program. We're going to be going through the upper body today. So we're going to be working at opening up the chest, through the front of the arm, through into the pecs and down into the rib cage, working on opening that space for your breathing capacity. So one of the major focuses is taking big, long, deep breaths. We're going to come into our all fours position to start off with. Just take your time here and let's go just for a little wiggle. Roll things around a little bit. You might like to close your eyes to start off with. Move the hips, move the shoulders. And then when you're ready, start to take some disco rolls. So we're taking the head and the hips in the same direction for a nice big circle, making sure you're coming through that arch position, chin on your chest, tailbone underneath, and then rolling through that nice big circle. Little bend through your elbows, keep things soft. And when you're ready, just roll it around to the other side. Taking a long, deep breath in as you open up to the ceiling and then exhale to bring that chin on your chest. Let's go for one more. And then just find that all fours position and push the hips back to your child's pose. Let's drop the forehead to the floor and take an inhale. On your exhale, picking your belly up, rolling through your spine, arching through the spine, chin on your chest, and then exhale, pushing that all the way back down into your child's pose again. Inhale, rolling back up. We're taking these child's pose rocks here. We want to be keeping that arch through the spine, so pushing all the vertebrae of the spine up to the sky and rolling back in that same position. We're going to take one more. And then progressing on, we're going to reach our front arm all the way forward, up to the ceiling, circle it back, and then land in your child's pose with that hand on the floor. Take it to the other side, reach it forward, up, around, and back. Let's take one more to each side, breathing in as we reach up. Exhale to find your child's pose. On the next one, land your front arm up to the ceiling. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, thread that top arm through, taking the front shoulder to the floor and dropping that front ear to the mat, looking up to the ceiling, taking a breath in, and then pushing through that underneath hand and rotating back up into that ceiling reach. Let's thread it through 2 more times. Just keep moving through this thoracic rotation. Last one, exhale on the down. Inhale on the up, circle that arm overhead, pull the hips back, land down in your child's pose and then take it over to the other side. Inhale, reach it forward, up to the ceiling. Thread the hand through, reaching towards me in the camera, looking up to the ceiling here, and then unfolding back up to the ceiling. Inhale, push into the underneath hand. Exhale, thread it through, ear to the mat. Once more, big breath in, expanding the chest. Exhale, threading it through. We're returning back up to the ceiling. Take your breath in and then exhale, reach it forward, land down in your child's pose. Rolling back forward, we're going to circle that front arm up to the ceiling, all the way around and back into your child's pose. Other side, inhale. Exhale back, this time same again, but land with that hand back up at the ceiling. We're going to stretch out our front leg, drop that heel to the floor, open your chest and hips together, and then rotate that hand back overhead. Rotate the hips and chest, land it on the floor, fold the knee and sink the hips back. So as we come forward onto the other side, reach the hand out long and reach the leg out long. Open the chest, open the hips, drop that back heel down, take a breath in, reach to the ceiling. And then exhale, fold it back towards the mat and come back down. 2 knees on the floor. Once again, reach it forward with the front arm. Front leg extends. Drop it open, reach up to the ceiling, hold it here. We're going to add on, reach that hand overhead, down to the floor, down to your thigh, sweep that thigh back and open the chest into our flash dance position. Breathing here, expanding the chest. And then exhaling, reverse again, hand down to the thigh, hand down to the mat. Bring the knee in all the way to your nose to curl. And then land that knee on the floor, sink the hips back, drop into your child's pose. So again on the other side. Inhale, roll it forward, reach the back arm, back leg out long. We open the chest, open the hips, reach up to the ceiling, drop the back heel. Reverse the arm circle overhead, down to the floor, down to the thigh. Sweep the leg back on the back diagonal, and then open that chest up, taking a breath in. Exhale, unfolding back the way you came. Circle it down to the mat, pulling the knee in, bringing it into your nose, and then landing that knee on the floor, sinking the hips back, finding your child's pose. We're going to take a moment with the forehead on the floor, just little rocks from side to side here. Take a long, deep breath. And when you're ready, rolling up through the spine. But this time, we're going to let the hips come all the way down to the floor. Take a moment in your cobra before letting that belly and chest drop down to the mat. We're going to slide the hands out into a T shape here. So we want hands in line with our shoulders and our fingers spreading out on the ground here. We're going to take a little moment to open up the front of the chest. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, and just before you go anywhere, tuck the pelvis, push the pubic bone into the ground. We're going to start by pressing the finger pads into the ground. Then we press the center of the palm into the ground. So we've got a little contraction going on here with our finger pads and our palm pressing down strongly into the mat. We feel like we're hollowing out our underarms, lifting the chest slowly off the floor, pushing down so hard that our chest floats up off the mat. It's like we've got a hook behind our sternum and it's lifting up towards the sky. Keep pushing down with those finger pads and that palm, and you should feel an engagement through the front of the arm, all the way up into the center of the chest. We take a deep breath in here with this push downwards. Feel the back of the scapula expanding with your breath in. And then as you exhale, gently let that go and take your ear to the mat and just relax here. We take a deep breath in, expanding the chest, feeling that that chest has more space to open now. Exhale, let it all go. Let's take one more of those. So same again. Turn the nose back to the mat. Press the finger pads down, press the center of the palm down. Feel the underarms hollowing out, and then start to float that chest off like the very center of a tent, lifting up. Hook on the back of the sternum. Keep pushing down as much as you can. Feel the engagement through the front of the arms. Take a breath in. And then exhale, take that cheek to the mat. Let the chest melt into the mat and take a breath into that sternum. Exhale, let it go. Nice, let's move on. We're going to take our right arm, let's use our back arm here. The arm at the back of the mat, bend it into a 90-degree angle. So we want that perfect alignment with your wrist over your elbow. 90-degree angle. We're going to take our cheek to the other side and place our front hand into the floor with the elbow up to the ceiling. We push into that palm, we peel our chest and our hips off the mat, lifting that top leg and reaching it right back on the back diagonal. So we're pushing into this palm here at the front and opening into our pec. So really make sure that you've set up this back arm correctly in that 90-degree angle. You don't want this elbow too far close to the body. We want it up right in line with our shoulder. That's the perfect position for this. Take a breath here, relax the head on the ground, keep pushing into that front hand, breathe into the chest and belly, and then as you exhale, let's gently melt ourselves all the way down to the ground. Give those hips a little wiggle, and then let's switch it over to the other side. So this front hand makes that 90-degree angle on the mat. Make sure the elbow's level with the shoulder and 90 degrees in that elbow. Take your back gaze over to the other side and place that back hand on the mat, out from the chest, elbow to the ceiling. Push into that hand, peel the chest and hips off the ground and reach that top leg as far away from you as you can. So you should be able to feel a stretch coming from that front elbow, the one that we've got in our broken wing position, all the way through the front of the chest and then down the diagonal into the opposite hip. Reach those toes away from you to get more from the hip and the belly. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, gently melt that all the way back down to the ground. Let's just take two hands down by our side and let the shoulders roll off the back and take a breath into the front of the body. On your exhale, take the hands underneath the chest, turn the gaze to face the mat, and let's push back to find our child's pose. Melt here for a breath in. On your exhale, rolling up, we're going to sit on our heels here for a moment. Let's just take a moment to sit over to the side, swing those legs around and bring yourself into the center of your mat. We're going to take the heels of the hands and face the heels to your bum and your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Feet nice and comfy on this mat here. We're going to push into the hands and open up the front of the chest. So we want to roll the shoulders open, squeezing the scapula together and puffing the chest up to the ceiling. Really push into the heels of the hands here and arch the spine and take a long deep breath in. So again, we're opening up across the whole front of the chest. One more bigger, deeper breath in. And then as you exhale, just let that go and relax. We're going to take a little contraction. So we pull the heels of the hands in towards our sit bones. Heels of the hands go in towards the sit bones. Little squeeze in and contract. Should feel the whole front line of the body, the front of the chest, down into the belly, contracting here. We hold this contraction for a count of 3, 2, 1. We let it go, soften out of it. Roll those shoulders back, puff that chest forward and arch into the spine for a breath in. Should feel like you have more space there to open up. Let's exhale, relax and take one more of these contractions. Squeeze the heels of the hands in towards the sit bones. Feel the belly contract, feel the chest contract, and then let it go. Open the chest, push into the hands, puff the chest up to the ceiling, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, soften out of it. We're going to take the hands, wrap them around the legs, take the head, bury it in between the knees, and just take a moment to rock from side to side, opening up the back of the shoulders. Long breath in here. And then as you exhale, slide the hands to the knees, roll down through the spine. Let's bring the knees with us. Give them a little squeeze into that belly, roll around on that lower back. And then gently let the legs unfold out into your lying position. Palms can be up to the ceiling, sinking into your Shavasana here, sinking into your rest. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Fill up the whole body, every single little muscle cell. And exhale, let the whole back surface of the body melt into the mat. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you've got available to you today. I encourage you to stay with these breaths and just melt that stretch into the body. Let it settle. If you'd like to finish with me, we can just roll over gently onto our side and gently make your way up into a seated position, nice and slowly. Thank you for joining me today for our upper body stretch.